did you want to do law while you were at Stanford, or what
Sure.
made you sort of get into law?
I began my undergraduate years as basically a pre-med.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I was going to go into medicine. I had had family members who had done that, and it seemed like the most natural thing to do. And I was reasonably good at the coursework, and you know, so I eventually progressed all the way through. Graduated with a major. I applied to medical school. I had gotten in. I had sent a deposit to hold my place. After I left Stanford, I had the good fortune to go do some graduate study overseas, and during that time I kind of finally kind of took the step outside of my comfort zone and decided that medicine probably wasn't my true passion.
Could you talk a little bit more about your study overseas and maybe how that affected you a little bit?
So I went to Oxford. I was very lucky to get a scholarship there, and I started in a PhD program actually, doing immunology research, which at the time, and now too, is one of the hottest fields in lab research. But I was unexcited by it. I think that's the easiest way to put it. I just didn't really feel passionately about it. And so I felt, well, gee, you know, if this is sort of the hottest field with the, you know, hottest lab, et cetera, and I'm not excited, then that should tell me something. So I took a step back, and I ended up studying philosophy at Oxford, which is a great place to study philosophy.
Were any of these transitions particularly challenging for you and difficult?
All transitions are challenging. They all are. Many of us, you know, have dreams and passions and interests that are outside of what's kind of expected of us or what the path of least resistance might be. And so for me, the idea of pursuing law, when, you know, nobody in my family had ever been a lawyer, and you know, it was not something familiar to me, that seemed like, you know, a big step for me. The thing in front of you, your major, your job, whatever it is that you're doing, may not be the thing that you are most truly passionate about. The thing you're passionate about may be kind of over here. You see it, but you don't make it the center of your life. And every once in a while, you have to kind of make a decision to move those things that are peripheral into the center. The difficult thing, I think, is to all the time feel as if you are making those conscious choices about who you want to be and what you want to do, as opposed to simply following what the path laid out for you appears to be, or what others expect you to become. And I think, you know, beginning really with college and beyond, you will face this set of choices over and over again, and it is a hard thing.
And sometimes it's difficult for me to take criticism from even professors who I know are very bright people.
Well, I don't think that ever goes away. No one likes to be criticized, but I think it's important to have a healthy attitude towards it. The first thing I think is that one should be open to criticism, because it's entirely possible that the criticism could be correct. But you should also be open to criticism partly because it's important to hear another person's point of view. The other person wants to be heard. They want to register, and even if you don't agree with them on one matter, the fact that they feel heard may essentially invite them to engage in conversation with you again on some other matter where they might be correct, and you would have lost the benefit of their view if they had concluded that you are not someone who's inclined to listen. You don't have to agree with everybody who criticizes you. You probably won't. But you do have to listen conscientiously to what they have to say, because that's part of the process of being in dialogue with other people. So I think this is a very important quality to cultivate, and it sometimes requires having a thick skin, and sometimes requires you to kind of bite your tongue. But it's important to listen well, and it's a tough skill to acquire.